Hey Yankees fans, welcome to Yankees Rumors and News, your go-to spot for the latest buzz and updates about our team. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a scoop. Over the weekend, the baseball world was buzzing with speculation as Cody Bellinger's future with the New York Yankees seemed increasingly uncertain. Sources close to this situation, including ESPN's Buster Olney, suggested that negotiations between Bellinger and the Yankees had reached a stalemate, with neither side willing to budge on terms. The report painted a picture of growing frustration, not necessarily with Bellinger's performance on the field, but with the complex dynamics that often accompany deals involving Scott Boras, one of the most formidable agents in sports. Boras' reputation for pushing for maximum value and long-term security for his clients is well known, and when paired with a front office that has its own vision for the team's future, sparks can fly. Despite the apparent deadlock, not every analyst shared the pessimistic outlook, and contrasting opinions suggested that the story was far from over. Jeff Passan offered a different perspective, framing the situation as one where the obvious outcome might still favor a reunion between Bellinger and the Yankees. Passan emphasized that while the negotiation on contract length and terms could be tricky, Bellinger reportedly seeking 7 years, while the Yankees were offering 5, the natural fit between player and team made a return the most logical scenario. He argued that if the deal did not materialize, the Yankees would have to pivot quickly, exploring alternatives such as Kyle Tucker, Bo Bichette, or Nico Hoerner, all talented players who could fill similar roles and maintain the team's competitiveness. Tucker, in particular, represented a high-ceiling option, someone capable of making an immediate impact, while Bichette offered the flexibility to play shortstop immediately and shift to second base when Jazz Chisholm Jr. eventually departed in free agency. Hoerner, while less likely due to the Cubs' reluctance to trade him, remained a wild card for the right package, underscoring the Yankees' need to balance urgency with strategy. Passan also highlighted the broader implications for the Yankees roster, pointing out that with ace pitcher Jarrett Cole anchoring the rotation alongside Kim Schlittler and the new acquisition Ryan Weathers, the team had the potential to be really good. The message was clear: the roster has depth, but the Yankees cannot afford to leave holes, particularly in the outfield, where Bellinger's presence could make or break their overall success. The tension between wanting the best talent available and navigating the realities of free agency creates a scenario where timing, patience, and negotiation savvy are just as important as on-field performance. The pressure to make the right move is immense, and every decision is scrutinized not just by management, but by fans and analysts who are acutely aware of what is at stake. The ongoing dance between the Yankees and Scott Boras adds another layer of intrigue. Boras' negotiating style is legendary. He is known for creating leverage, holding off on deals until maximum value can be secured, and orchestrating situations that force teams to confront tough choices. The parallels to previous winters, particularly the 2019 free agency period with Manny Machado and Bryce Harper, are impossible to ignore. Both players, also represented by Boras, did not sign until late February, creating a drawn-out suspense that tested the patience of the teams involved. If history serves as a guide, the Yankees' handling of Bellinger's contract could follow a similar path, suggesting that patience and perhaps a willingness to meet Boras' terms might be the only way to secure a deal before the season begins. With pitchers and catchers set to report in 26 days, the timeline is shrinking rapidly, and every day without resolution amplifies the pressure. If the Yankees ultimately fail to sign Bellinger, the consequences could be severe. As Passan noted, top-tier free agents like Tucker and Bichette do not linger on the market, and other teams will be ready to pounce. The organization would bear the responsibility for any missed opportunities, as the path forward would be dictated by the decisions made or delayed during this critical negotiation window. Brian Cashman, with decades of experience navigating the tricky waters of MLB free agency, is unlikely to let such an outcome occur without a fight. But even seasoned executives face challenges when dealing with an agent like Boras, whose influence and negotiating acumen are unmatched. The stakes are high, the margin for error is slim, and the eyes of the baseball world are fixed squarely on New York. The potential return of Bellinger to the Yankees is about more than just numbers on a contract or highlights on the field. It represents a strategic move with ripple effects across the roster and the league. A successful negotiation would not only secure one of the league's premier outfielders, but also signal that the Yankees are committed to competing at the highest level, blending proven talent with emerging stars. Conversely, failure to reach an agreement could trigger a domino effect, reshaping the team's strategy in the outfield and potentially altering the competitive landscape of the American League East. The balance between risk and reward in this situation is delicate, and every decision carries weight beyond the immediate season, influencing team chemistry, fan perception, and the broader narrative of Yankees baseball as the days tick down toward spring training. Speculation continues to mount. Analysts, fans, and insiders alike are dissecting every word, every rumored offer, and every tweet, looking for clues about where Bellinger will land. The drama is heightened by the contrast between the pessimistic and optimistic perspectives, with only presenting a cautious view of a potential impasse, while Passan frames a return as obvious given the alignment of interests. This duality fuels conversations across sports media, creating a narrative that feels almost cinematic, with heroes, obstacles, and the ever-present tension of high-stakes negotiation. It is a reminder that baseball, while played on the field, is often won and lost in the boardroom, where contracts, timing, and strategic foresight intersect. In the end, the outcome of the Yankees' pursuit of Bellinger will hinge on a delicate mix of negotiation, timing, and mutual interest. The player's desire for long-term security, the team's vision for roster construction, and the looming presence of Scott Boras all converge to create a high-stakes scenario that could define the coming season. If a deal is reached, the Yankees solidify a core piece of their lineup and signal their intent to contend. If not, they face a scramble to fill a void that could have long-lasting implications either way. The story exemplifies the complex interplay between talent, business, and strategy in modern baseball, capturing the attention of fans and analysts alike and setting the stage for what promises to be an unforgettable off-season drama in a game where every swing, pitch, and negotiation matters. The saga of Cody Bellinger and the New York Yankees reminds us that baseball is as much about timing and strategy off the field as it is about skill and performance on it. This narrative continues to unfold, and while answers remain just out of reach, one thing is clear: the Yankees' pursuit of Cody Bellinger is one of the most compelling storylines of the offseason, blending uncertainty, expectation, and the ever-present thrill of seeing whether the obvious outcome will indeed come to pass. It is a story that will shape the trajectory of the team, influence decisions across the league, and provide fans with endless material to debate, discuss, and dream about as the countdown to opening day relentlessly moves forward. With only weeks to go until pitchers and catchers report, every move, every conversation, and every strategic decision is magnified, and the eyes of the baseball world remain riveted on New York, waiting to see where Bellinger will ultimately land, and how the Yankees will navigate the high-stakes chess game that defines free agency in the modern era. If you're enjoying the updates, drop a like and let us know in the comments your thoughts on this rumor. Rumors in the baseball world are swirling like a storm around the Bronx, and one name keeps coming up over and over again in whispers, private conversations, and insider chatter: Garrett Crochet, the young, hard-throwing closer who has made a name for himself with a fastball that seems almost untouchable, has reportedly never been closer to a major move in his career. And the buzz is that the New York Yankees are the destination everyone is quietly expecting. Sources who have been following negotiations hint that the discussions have been more intense, more personal, and more advanced than ever before, suggesting that the deal is not just possible, but imminent. Fans and analysts alike are leaning forward in anticipation, trying to piece together every small signal from the front office, every social media hint, and every subtle comment from the players' camp, attempting to decode what could be the next blockbuster move in Major League Baseball. Insiders suggest that this is not just another run-of-the-mill transaction. Garrett Crochet is said to be closer than ever to joining the Yankees, and the language being used behind closed doors is intense and confident, unlike the usual speculation that often surrounds big names. This one seems rooted in more than just rumor. Sources indicate that multiple meetings have taken place between the players' representatives and the Yankees' management, and there is a sense that both sides are aligned not just on numbers, but on vision, roles, and expectations. The idea of Crochet patrolling the late innings for a team with a history, a legacy, and an unrelenting hunger for championships has the kind of appeal that generates headlines even before a contract is signed. Imagine the Bronx faithful, electric and roaring as the young arm takes the mound, A new weapon ready to dominate late-game situations, potentially reshaping the team's approach to closing out tight contests. The timing of this potential move adds another layer of intrigue. Sources close to the negotiations have hinted that the discussions have been meticulously timed to allow all parties to prepare for a seamless transition. This is not a rushed acquisition. It appears to be a calculated, deliberate strategy. The Yankees, known for their meticulous approach to player acquisitions and roster management, are reportedly drawn not only to Crochet's talent, but also to his potential for growth and his mental toughness. In a league where closing out games can often define seasons, a reliable closer is more than just a luxury. It is an essential component of championship contention. The thought that Crochet could be stepping into such a critical role in New York has generated speculation about how the team will restructure their bullpen and what this might mean for other pitchers who have been vying for late-inning responsibilities. Analysts and commentators are already weighing the possible scenarios, each more tantalizing than the last. Some suggest that Garrett Crochet could become the face of the Yankees' bullpen for years to come, an anchor in the ninth inning whose presence alone changes how opponents approach each game. Others speculate that this acquisition, if completed, signals a shift in philosophy for the franchise, showing that the team is aggressively targeting young, high-upside arms rather than relying solely on established veterans. The whispers of this deal have created a fever pitch among fans and media alike, with social media exploding with speculation, graphics, mock-ups of uniforms, and animated discussions about what this means for the Yankees' chances in the playoffs. It is the kind of rumor that feeds itself, where each new hint or offhand remark fuels another wave of excitement, speculation, and debate. Beyond the technical and tactical implications, there is a human element to this story that adds to its allure. Garrett Crochet is said to be a player with not only impressive skills, but also a personality and mentality that align with the high-pressure environment of New York. Sources close to him suggest that he has always been ambitious, eager to prove himself, and fully aware of the opportunity that joining a storied franchise like the Yankees represents. The idea that Crochet could be stepping into a team with such intense scrutiny, legendary history, and passionate fan base has sparked discussion about his ability to handle pressure, adapt to a new city, and thrive under expectations that can sometimes feel overwhelming. If true, the narrative writes itself, a young closer with untapped potential arriving at a place where legends are made, where every pitch, every strikeout, and every save could contribute to a legacy that endures long after the season ends. Financial details remain murky, but speculation suggests that both sides are highly motivated to make the numbers work. The Yankees, known for their deep pockets and willingness to invest in talent, are reportedly working to ensure that the deal is structured in a way that satisfies not only their strategic goals, but also the player's aspiration and long-term career trajectory. Meanwhile, insiders indicate that Crochet's camp is focused on securing a situation that maximizes playing time, development opportunities, and exposure to high-stakes games. If these reports are accurate, the negotiations appear to be as much about fit, philosophy, and opportunity as they are about money. In other words, this is a potential signing that could benefit everyone involved: the team, the player, and, ultimately, the fans who get to witness a new chapter in Yankees history unfold. Rumors of this magnitude rarely emerge without at least a few obstacles, and there are undoubtedly hurdles yet to overcome. Sources caution that nothing is finalized, and there are still variables that could influence the outcome, from last-minute financial adjustments to roster decisions and unforeseen developments elsewhere in the league. Yet, despite these uncertainties, the language being used by those closest to the situation is strikingly confident. The repeated emphasis on the phrase "closer than ever" suggests a strong likelihood that a deal is on the horizon, and this has only intensified the excitement, speculation, and debate among fans, analysts, and commentators alike. The narrative of a young, electric closer stepping into the bright lights of Yankee Stadium is already taking shape in the imagination of the baseball world, a story that feels almost inevitable even before ink hits the paper. In the grand scheme of things, if this move comes to fruition, it would represent more than just a transactional shift in a team's bullpen. It could signal a larger strategic vision for the Yankees, a willingness to invest in young arms with high ceilings, and an intent to dominate late-game situations with precision, velocity, and a psychological edge. For fans, the potential arrival of Garrett Crochet is generating the kind of excitement that transcends statistics and box scores, capturing the imagination, speculation, and emotional investment that only truly impactful baseball stories create. The anticipation is palpable, the conversation is nonstop, and the possibility of this blockbuster move has become a central talking point across the baseball world, fueling debates, predictions, and dreams of what might be just around the corner. As the rumor mill continues to churn, the narrative builds itself organically, weaving together elements of talent, timing, strategy, and ambition. The idea of Garrett Crochet in pinstripes is no longer just a fleeting thought. It has become a storyline with momentum, a potential turning point in both a player's career and a franchise's trajectory. For now, the speculation remains just that rumor, but the sources, the timing, and the repeated emphasis on proximity all suggest that fans may not have to wait long before this story moves from the world of conjecture into the reality of Major League Baseball. Every pitch, every meeting, every hint feeds into the suspense, creating a narrative that is impossible to ignore and thrilling to follow. Whether or not this move ultimately happens, the conversation itself has already captured the imagination of the sport, proving that in baseball, as in life, the moments before something historic can be just as exciting as the moment it actually arrives. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you stay up to date with every Yankees rumor and news. See you in the next video.